Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays FTL. Yes, confirmed, I don't want to continue with that shitty Mantis Cruiser A run that I tried to record and died on Sector 1. Not because I did super poorly, but because the Mantis Cruiser can suck on everything I have that smells bad and tastes salty. Sincerely, small bomb, basic laser, who thought of that? At least give it like a burst laser Mark 1 or a dual laser or something like that. I also hate the rock cruiser. I think we're gonna go back to the NG cruiser for a run here. Because I still haven't beaten the game on normal with the NG Cruiser. Additionally, I think the NG Cruiser is alright. I don't think it's very good. In fact, in a lot of situations, of course, we run into a Zoltan Energy Cruiser with a missile launcher to start the game with. We should probably be using Ion Blast on auto-fire, but it takes out a lot of the shield, or it takes out the shield quickly. That was auto-fire. Please auto-fire. You do not appear to be auto-firing, despite me using the hotkey for auto-fire. Can't help but notice that. Yeah, I was gonna say, in a lot of cases, I think that maybe the NG Cruiser is actually worse than the Mantis Cruiser. The exception to that being that, you know, if you can get past the first sector, that might apply, but if you can't get past the first sector, then you're probably better off with the NG Cruiser, which starts a little bit more survivable. Seriously, if you could just attack the weapons for once, maybe take out that missile launcher, life would be golden. I wouldn't have to deal with all this absolute nonsense. Oh no, you can just let another shot come in on our engines, that's fine too. Alright, so there's, you know, positives and negatives with the NG Cruiser. What are the bigs of each? That is the most awkward way to ever introduce a segue like that. We search among stores. I mean, sure, we will. We got free scrap, so I don't know why we would just leave instead. I guess maybe sometimes you'll have combat there. We have a great ion weapon in Ion Blast 2. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to attack the Slaver Scum, even though it would be nice to get another NG crew member. I'd rather just, you know, start out by trying to get scrap or something along those lines. Ooh, probably should have landed that bad boy on weapons, but maybe we'll get lucky and that shot will hit anything but oxygen. Okay, our ion weapon, actually, we got... Oh no, we didn't get lucky. That was not our ion weapon. My drone got shot by a missile. So I basically used a drone part as like an anti-missile. I don't think that's very good. You know, our drone parts are limited, and I don't really care about whether or not we're causing the enemy to run out of missiles, because we're going to kill them long before that would ever be practical. So, please, just yes, thank you for doing me a favor and actually shooting at the laser for once and twice. Now all their weapons are down. Sure, I will take a Mantis crew member. I think it was worth the fight, even though we did lose a drone part. Now we have a Mantis crew member, which means we're much less susceptible to being boarded. Let's move onwards. We need to rely on our combat drone to do damage. That's the biggest negative with this ship. It's borderline impossible, maybe actually literally impossible for us to kill the enemy ships. Oh, come on. Without using... I swear to God, I'm auto-firing the shit out of this. Maybe it only works as an auto-fire. No, what the... I'm using the hotkey. How is this not working out for me? I'm actually just, at this point, I'm just not worried, but feeling like I'm going a little crazy. Okay, I think that the auto-fire actually is on there. Maybe it was on before, but the shade of yellow that they use is similar to white in my, I don't know, pseudo-colorblind mind. There's no drone parts there, so I'm gonna not accept surrender. If there were drone parts, I probably would have accepted a pretty lenient surrender offer because I don't want to spend drone parts, and, you know, we're not gonna get much more than 9 scrap as a reward on this, sector anyway, or on this beacon specifically, so yeah, we got 17, and we got a drone part out of it, so that was basically win-win. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to give an NG ship good pause to actually, help you out, then what you should do is give them some drone parts. The combat drone, we can't control where it actually aims, which is problematic for us because we can't take out relevant systems as quickly as we'd like to, so it's been a very roundabout way of explaining it, but I would very much love to pick up another weapon, and that other weapon would allow us to theoretically, you know, be a lot stronger as a result. Oh good, our engines are completely out. Not just stronger, but also, you know, we can actually target our shots, which is important. So... we're gonna just try to pay attention here. We want to alternate our ion blast. We want to go like weapons, shields, etc., etc. Just get that oxygen repaired as soon as possible. That's pretty important. In fact, we can probably just keep it on weapons, because then when shields come back, it'll go for shields anyway. Like, because the ion weapons take shields as their #1 priority. You know what I'm saying here, I think. Like this shot. Yeah, that'll take shields. Well, actually, no, it won't, because of the fact that the combat drone is fucking me up a little bit here. And almost continued to do so, but now we should be in a great position. And we're done. Okay. We do not have oxygen powered up. That is something we should get an eye on here. Get an eye on. Get it? We already got an eye on, you silly. We're gonna get a second level of shields. That's just, you know, your fairly standard first upgrade. No more reactor power yet, unfortunately. That's your fairly standard first sector upgrade. Happy to have it. If we end up fighting lasers instead of missiles, then life will be good. Or beams, so this is why we are going to attack the automated ship here, although hacking... well, hacking could be annoying, but won't be because that is a god-awful choice. Hacking the medbay always strikes me as very silly. Alright, so now we're going to auto-fire on... it should be auto-fire. I don't know. I've been away from FTL for a little while. And now I find myself unable to use auto-fire until like the 4th time that I click the hotkey. I don't know why. I should just start using my mouse on the auto-fire button, apparently. And this drone should not be too problematic for us. Sucks that we're using a drone part, but again, there's really no way around that for us. So just kind of learn to live with it, and we'll buy drone parts if necessary from a shop. But for now, I'm fairly pleased with the way this first sector has gone. 10 free scrap is... You know, well, 10 free scrap is alright, and then also the ability to find the, you know, combat modifiers or combat beacons is good too. I'm just gonna scrap some of the debris from that condition right there, or that encounter right there. Sometimes I think we end up losing a crew member and having, like, intruders on board, etc., which is not my idea of a good time right now. So this will probably be combat. We're definitely never gonna surrender our crew to slavers, and thankfully, they do not actually have, Okay, is this auto-firing? It is. We do not actually, or they do not actually have any realistic means of breaking through our shields, so life is good. Our shields, pilot, and engine personnel should be getting better over the course of this fight, as they'll be basically able to farm these laser shots for free points. In fact, our weapons personnel gets better too, but that just happens naturally, I guess, as a result of firing the weapons more often. Okay. So, now we wait. If there's anything else that's frustrating about the NG Cruiser, it is just, like, waiting and not... It's not unique to the NG Cruiser, but waiting and being, like, unsure of when the run is actually going to end. I know we should probably aim at shields now because we just keep taking out enemy weapons by accident. So we actually should kind of micro our weapons maybe a little bit more effectively, but this will put us in a 1 position right here. There's especially no reason to shoot at weapons when they can't actually hurt us, but whatever. Now we have a mantis, a second mantis that we can put on our doors. Basically serves like a, you know, an interim door upgrade. We have the opportunity to aid a civilian ship here. Regretting it ever so slightly because they do have hacking as well as a missile launcher. But as long as we can get that missile launcher taken out. Well, we're not going to be dodging anything, so just prepare yourself. That looks like it's not auto-firing. This looks like it's not auto-firing. Here comes a missile. Yeah, there was very limited chance of us dodging that. In a way, I'm actually glad that it didn't take down doors, or it didn't hack doors, because if it hacked doors, we might have problems repairing where the missile actually landed. As is, let's be honest, we're just going to end up tanking a bunch of shots here. This is annoying. They did take out our drone control unit. Also, they have such a high fucking dodge chance that, oh, the greatest shot of all time! That it's very difficult for me to actually get in there and do damage, but so be it. This is now done. We used 2 drone parts, so hopefully we get at least 1 back in return. I don't want to, you know, find myself with 0 drone parts on Sector 2. That seems like it would be bad. We got 1 drone part. And we got another crew member as well, who will now become our sensor crew member, I think. Actually, we might move you to doors and then move our mantis to sensors. And the reason for that is so that our mantis is a little bit more free to move around in the case of a boarding. That seems like a pretty smart play in my eyes. And investigate the battlefield. I was a little worried about that for this exact reason, but our ship should be stronger than theirs. So this is fine. Just get in there and take that missile launcher out as soon as we can, ideally. Alright, they have an NG. They are going to fire a missile. There's no way we got around that. It did land, and it's stunned, which sucks, but we'll send our weapon NG in there to fix that. And as long as their missile launcher stays offline, life is good for me here. And we've taken out their shield, started a fire, even better. 1 more shot and they're dead. And they have no pilot, so that should be it right there. Not an incredible first sector, But truth be told, I would say that went pretty well. Why did we have... Did I upgrade our engines at one point, or did I just get an engine upgrade? Did I buy extra engine power instead of buying reactor power? I totally did, didn't I? Alright, I'm an idiot, but at least our dodge chance is way higher now. And we can still get our combat drone going. Alright, so I'd say it's on to the next sector. We're going to go pirate-controlled as opposed to the Nebula, just because that's a little bit risky for me at this point in time, I'd say. We have a store, which is kind of what I was hoping to find if I still had scrap. But because I accidentally spent a little bit more than I'd like to, maybe we'll be able to farm some and be okay. We've got a pirate to deal with. They have a clone bay. It's not like we were realistically entertaining the thought of killing them anyway. Killing their crew, I should say. So, first shot lands on shields. That gives us a pretty nice window. Second shot lands on weapons. It takes out the stunner, which... is what it is, but now that their missile launcher's offline, we have a real period of wonderful potential gain here. If we could actually just, like, land... There we go. I was thinking land a shot on either their weapons or their shields. I'm not really picky. I would basically take either at this point. Their weapons are still stunned, though, which is very nice. I was so close to actually hitting something useful for me for once. They're going to surrender... I think I'm going to take it. It's not a great surrender offer, but I was worried about another missile coming in. You know, risk aversion a little bit here. We got a drone part back for our troubles. Definitely not going to surrender our crew to slavers, and their ship kind of sucks. So, I'm feeling pretty good about this situation. Like, what? They might have 3 laser shots. No, they only have 2. So they're not going to be able to do any damage to us. So, you know, theoretically I could, like, AFK and farm the shit out of my, or out of these laser shots and get my, people becoming much stronger, or not much stronger, but, you know, proportionally stronger, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to send our, pilot into the medbay. He can just heal up while we're still, taking our time on this level, and then we'll get our dodge chance back up again. And, presumably, probably have, like, another... 3 shots here before we actually finish them off. Maybe only 2. We got lucky. I guess they had no pilot, so their autopilot stat probably pretty low. 30 scrap is actually pretty nice reward, all things considered. Okay, we can make it through here. Always got to be wary about these beacons, just in case they go terribly wrong. They have a missile launcher. I'll get to the storage cache. I always hate fighting these ships because inevitably the dodge chance is fucking enormous. So, yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Get that missile launcher out as soon as possible. Starting a fire in their piloting room is basically meaningless because... oh, no, actually, it's not. It actually took out the piloting system unless I missed us landing another shot in there. That is crazy good. Nice shot. Because that lowers their dodge chance probably to nearly 0, if not 0. And we get a hull smasher laser, 2 power for 2 shots. We also got a bunch of scrap there. We'll hit up that store in a second. I may want to power up our weapons enough to use the Hull Smasher laser. It's not the weapon that I want to roll with for the rest of my life, but it might be okay until we get another weapon that I'd rather put in that spot. You know, it'll actually allow us to target systems, which would be nice. We'll open this up. It's an NG. So we're going to send you in here just so that, you know, we have someone to help fight you off here. Their missile launcher's been taken out. Their piloting system's been taken out. Shield's still active, much to my surprise. And let's, we've closed everything up here. What might want to do is depower engines just a little bit, power up our medbay instead, so we get the, NG Metabot dispersal. It's not like we have to worry too much about dodging here anyway. So they're going to try to escape. We will have to deal with a fire. Maybe 2 fires, depending on where they land. In the door system. That's annoying. So... we'll send our NG in there to help us out. We do have the Metabots coming in, so I'm thinking we'll probably be able to jump pretty realistically here. And if we can just get... I mean, we don't even need to get doors repaired because we're going to a store, so we'll just go to that store first and see if there's anything I'd like to buy. Mind control, pretty good. Plenty of bombs. Interesting. Not really what I want, though. Unless I also got a, an explosives replicator. Defense drone seems really useful for 50. I think a defense drone 1 might actually be what I want to buy here. As awesome as mind control might be or something like that, but it's not like we're trying to kill any crew members, we're just trying to kill ships instead. So I think we will get the defense drone. Have to keep the combat drone. I think we'll heal up a little bit. Buy all the drone parts they have and fix everything up and move on. Then the next thing I want to get is extra weapon power. Because I really do want to have this laser going as well. We might be able to get it before the end of this sector, believe it or not. I don't think there's any... Let's try to dislodge the ship by shooting at the rocks. I was going to say, I always forget which one of those actually leads to us being able to not get into combat and possibly getting free scrap. Oh, there's another beacon, like, right here that you can barely see because of it's covered by the distress text. So, this does seem to be the right way, then. Lead them to their destination, 12 scrap. Lovely. That's some extra weapon power. It may actually be better for us, believe it or not, to use the Hull Smasher laser instead of the Ion Blast for now. And the reason I say that is because it gives us 2 shots. Combined with our combat drone, that should be enough to break down enemy shields and actually target a system like weapons, for example. I'm just going to accept their bribe at this point. What do we need? Probably 50. So frustrating that we can't get to this quest beacon. The way that things are aligned here, I'm not going to be able to get to that quest beacon, unfortunately. Agree to the trade. Reactor for 2 missiles, 2 drone parts. I think that's pretty good. We can keep that powered up for now. It's frustrating, but we are going to have to leave this sector. I wish it didn't work like that. Mantis Homeworld seemed like a no-brainer choice for us, given that, you know, their strength is boarding our ship. We have a very strong ship for anti-boarding capabilities. Good doors, a couple of Mantises as well. I think we're going to be fine. Alright. NG, calm down the infected. Before we jump, I just want to look at our ship. We need 50 and then some reactor power, probably, to get our ion powered up at the same time. So maybe we get one more non-combat beacon. And... Alright, attempt to hail them. Nope. This doesn't look great for me. So we will have some boarders. We want to use combat drone. No, you know what? That was a waste of a drone part. But we want to use defense drone instead. And then we can't be attacked. Yeah, we can't be touched now. This is the perfect place for you to actually invade here. Because now the hull laser, we'll just send this in on I guess we'll start with shields. And, yeah, by taking out the enemy shields, our defense drone will shoot down their missiles, and we're totally fine. Obviously, I'm a little bit concerned about our whole, you know, drone part situation. With the Hull Smasher laser and the ion weapon working at the same time, you're really gonna board me again, huh? We won't need, with those both working in concert with one another, I should say, we won't need, why am I shooting at weapons? We should shoot at something more valuable, like piloting. We won't need to use drone parts as much. That's what I'm trying to say that entire time. Words didn't come out right, though. So we've opened up a breach there in the piloting system. Weirdly enough, the hull laser may actually just allow us to take out all of the enemies on the ship before we actually manage to take out before we manage to take out, like, the hull integrity. But now that I look at it, that is absolutely batshit crazy. There is no way we will be able to do that. Now that the clone bay is done, though, we'll fire at oxygen, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Actually, we should fire at shields. But again, it doesn't really matter, because they only have 1 bar of shields in maximum anyway. And opening up that breach is going to cause them some real problems. And that'll be it for that run. I'm hoping that we get a decent amount of scrap. They're really low on HP, but there's no way we can't kill them. So, that's fine. We get 27 scrap, which does put us over that weapon threshold. So if we depower our defense drone, we can power up Ion Blast. There we go. So we've got everything working here. Now we need to use a lot less drone parts, or we won't have to use as many drone parts, I should say. We will attack the ship here. They have 3 shots that they can use. We have no need for a defense drone, so let's test out our theory here. We're just going to send 1 Mantis into the medbay to help fight, and we'll lower our dodge chance to do so, even though it's kind of silly to say that, maybe. So Ion Blast goes on shields, and we'll have a second Ion Blast that goes on shields. Just keep auto-firing on shields, I guess, and we'll try to hit their weapons, maybe. Take out 1 laser just so we have 0 risk to ourselves, pretty much. Yeah, they're going to teleport him off, which is not surprising. There we go. Everybody gets back to your rooms. They do have an NG crew member, which is annoying. But, is that NG really going to teleport over here? I would advise against it. Let's put it that way. And they do have a med bay. It would be easier to kill them if we used a drone part. But I'm still not going to use a drone part, because I think that would be a silly decision when those are super limited. I kind of just want to, you know, really give it to him there. I did like a ton of damage with that Hull Smasher laser. We're at risk of getting attacked now. It's just pretty unlikely. So we'll try to land another shot. They do have a pilot, much to my surprise, but they're also nearly dead. And one more shot anywhere will kill them, so why don't we fire at where this NG is repairing, because he's been real annoying so far. The Hull Smasher laser is... Oh, we actually took some damage there, surprisingly. The Hull Smasher laser is fine. It's just a little slow, and it's not my, like, preferred method to deal with enemy ships. But it's fine to have. I feel much stronger than I would without it. And we got it for free, which is also, you know, the price is right on that one. We have a distress beacon. The distress beacon wants us to give them fuel. I will do so. 35 scrap is a nice reward. And we're probably in, you know, the territory where we're a little bit ahead of the curve, so we want to buy things that are even better than where we should be from the stores, if possible. So I'm trying to get as much scrap as possible. We just have intruders on board, which is always really fucking frustrating, but we send, like, you two guys into this oxygen room. Should cause them some problems, I'd say. And these other guys are going to try to fight their way out at the same time? Is that how this is going to work? Yeah, and they're going to go for the drone control room. You're not going to like how this works out for you, I think. Like, I think you're going to have, like, a really terrible time as a result of this. At this point, we're probably better off actually closing all doors. And if we close all doors, I think we won't lose. Yeah, I think we're starting to crest here. I know it looks scary. It looks scarier than it is, though, I assure you. There we go. Alright, so let's check out our store. Unfortunately, we got nothing from that encounter, but shit happens. Crew teleporter is very tempting. We can't really afford too much here, though. Yeah, we can't really afford anything at all. So I say we buy drone parts, buy fuel, fix a little. That was too much, even. And then just get back to where we belong here. I might sell at some point NG Metabot Dispersal, but it's not going to be that beacon. It's been good for us so far. NG Metabot Dispersal really seems like a good counter to, you know, being invaded by stronger enemies. We're lucky enough to have 2 Mantises, so it's just like the icing on the cake, but if you only had NGs, I could see how that would be super useful. Okay. Attack the rebels. I think we're strong enough to attack the rebels. If we use a defense drone, we won't get hacked. So that seems like a reasonably smart idea to me. We'll shoot down the, or it's even better, that was a boarding drone. So we'll shoot down the boarding drone, and then, you know, we'll just do what we do here. Probably go to town on this drone control unit first, just because the system repair drone is going to be annoying otherwise. Yeah, that's pretty good. The system repair drone, I guess, is their ultimate power-up. Or the drone that they're giving the most precedent, I should say. So I'm just going for the hull now, actually. Oh, we totally missed. Nice. Okay. Human, you can get out of here. And we'll let our Mantis crew members come in and deal with this instead, I guess. Unfortunate miss from that defense drone, but shit happens, I guess. Still landed 1 shot there. I'm going to depower a little bit of dodge chance to power up medbay so we get that Metabot Dispersal. And it looks like we're going to be fine. Oh, someone's almost dead. You should get into the medbay. And you'll be alright, I'm sure. But hull laser's ready to go. Let's send it on this room. I didn't quite finish him off. Probably makes a lot of sense to go for, like, oh, the doors. No, they're still repairing the breach. Oh, come on. You missed again? I can't believe that you haven't repaired the door system yet. Like, that is just nuts to me. But this is fine. A hull laser will come in. It doesn't really matter where it hits as long as it hits. And steal the civilian supplies. Yes, free extra scrap. To be super cynical about it. Alright, so the Metabots are working. 43 scrap. Where do we put that? That's a good question. I still think we save it for a good augment or something like that. You come over here. Oh, it wasn't you that's actually injured. Who's the human? Oh, the human that's injured that is being repaired already. Okay. Everyone's nearly pretty good on health. We don't get any extra jumps, so I say we move to the NG-controlled sector. Which shouldn't be problematic because they have drones, and we are not worried about drones because we don't shoot missiles. This is going alright so far. I'll booby-trap the cache here. That'll delay the fleet, so we'll get more jumps. Seems nice. We also, I should say, wait, what was I going to say there? Oh, if we get nothing else, promise to help remotely repair the targeting system. That worked really well. If we get nothing else, like no other opportunities to buy something incredible here, cloaking, hacking maybe, although that would, you know, double up on our drone usage, which is a little scary. They're gonna have 4 shots here, which does scare me a little bit. So actually I'm gonna send out a combat drone. And we'll ion blast the shit out of their shields. And with the hull laser, we should be able to make relatively quick work of them here. Yeah, we'll try to get our 3rd bar of shields, because our 3rd bar of shields is, you know, very nice. We did take some damage, but we also opened up a breach on them. Or maybe we didn't open up a breach, but we did completely screw their weapons, so that's lovely. Wait. That's what I was hoping for, and then we'll try to land this bad boy right here. That's gonna make their weapons very problematic. Oh, and their medbay got taken out. Okay. Well, they're done, let's be honest. Was it worth the use of a drone part? I would say so. 26 takes us up to 116, which does put us at, you know, really likely 3rd bar of shields territory. You need 150. Getting a defense drone is great. We would probably not use 2 defense drones. But maybe? Would it shoot down 2 missiles? Oh my god. 5 missiles and 2 drone parts for a reactor. I'm gonna take it. I don't know if I should have, but I did. Just because it seemed very convenient at the time. Anyway, one thing's for sure, we would probably... Okay, we want a combat drone here. We would probably never use or 2 defense drones and a combat drone. But having 2 defense drones, assuming they shot down multiple missiles on that flagship fight, actually seems like it would be pretty useful. We're gonna make sure... Oh, we did get 1 shot in. That's the only thing that matters. They do still have a 5 laser shot coming in here, which is horrifying. Okay, we actually got pretty lucky there, I would say. Let's, get everybody in there repairing those shields. Everybody, you know, within reason at least. They're gonna surrender and I'm gonna take it. Decent scrap, fuel, drone part. That's fine. We have a fire in a room where it is completely not a problem, so I don't even have to worry about putting that out right now. Let's get to this store. We have 150 scrap, which is largely, you know, the magic number. We have a weapon pre-igniter. I was actually just thinking about the weapon pre-igniter, and I was like, our weapons aren't really great for it, but I would be stupid to not buy it anyway. So what we will probably try to do is get like a weapon pre-igniter, which we now will have. It's nice to have the hull laser ready right off the bat, I'll admit. I won't buy a little fuel, but apart from that, I think we're good. I'm not going to sell that defense drone yet. It doesn't sell for that much, and it might end up being useful later. Long-range scanners could be useful too, but... my thinking behind this is if I get a missile launcher at some point in the future, this is amazing for me. As is, I'd say it's still pretty good, but we do have a series of weapons, or a couple of weapons that are not really that... well, let's listen to the offer. Agree to rescue the store. It's kind of far away, but we can get to it. Yeah, like the hull laser will benefit from the pre-igniter. The ion blast charges so quickly that it doesn't really matter. But it's nice to have it regardless. So hopefully we'll get in some combat so I can actually see what it's capable of doing here. Engage the rebel and rescue the dock. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, that's scary. Oh! I'm gonna go with the defense drone instead. Waste of a drone part. I'm an idiot. Let's proceed. Although, am I actually gonna be able to kill them here? Seems unlikely. As a result of their crazy 3rd level shields. Despite, oh, do we want to... I do want to power up that medbay. 3rd level shields, despite the fact that we're only on Sector 3. That is absolutely fucking crazy. As long as we shoot down the missile, though, life could still be good. Okay, we do have 2 bars of shields taken out now. So if we just get their shields with the hull laser, and start to work them down a little bit. Good, we killed them. We can get our dodge chance back up. Shoot down the missile. Basically what I'm getting at is we gotta work their shields down. And then as a result of that, we'll be able to sneak more shots in. So, you know, the rich get richer, and the strong get stronger in this case. Luckily, they appear to have, like, borderline 0% dodge chance, which is lovely for me. Good, keep shooting down those missiles. We did miss 1 shot, but we also opened up a breach and got a stun there on the shield. So, really just try to keep these guys, like, completely deoxygenated And life is great. Oh, that is good stuff right there. With no shields, I might take an extra crack at another system here in a second. I'm not sure which one it would be, though. Nah, their shields seem to be sort of coming back because we're not getting much in the way of stuns. Alright, now they're screwed. Where would I fire ion weapons now? Probably on the weapon system. Maybe piloting. You can make a case for piloting as well, but then I'm going to shoot hull laser on piloting. Or sorry, on the empty room to just open it up, and that takes their pilot away anyway. So, keep the weapons at bay. They have no weapons active. That is an effective ion blast there. That fight went way better than I would have expected. I don't think we took any hits at all there. We got 41 scrap, a bunch of hull points repaired. And some weapons that very much benefit from what we've got going on here. As awesome as the ion blast is, we're gonna, well, let's check out page 2. Nah. We're gonna sell the ion blast, which has been great for us. And we're gonna replace, oh, we can maybe do it with the hull laser too, though. Nah, I'm gonna sell the ion blast. And we're going to buy the Flat Cannon Mark II. With the pre-igniter, this is going to be a great combination. I know I said we wanted missile launchers. Trust me when I say that this is probably the right way to handle this. I say probably because it's important to be prudent like that, but I think at least. Upgrade sensors for 13 scrap. That seems fine by me. Are we actually on Sector 4? Am I mistaken? We were on Sector 4. We were not on Sector 3, so my mistake. We're going to go Rock Homeworlds. And that'll do it for this episode, or this part of this episode. Part 2 will be linked in the video description below. You can click that link and go watch part 2 if you want to. As always, thanks for your support in this ongoing FTL series. I think we've got a real chance here. The sky's the limit. We really want to get that third bar of shields, but after that, stack up another nice missile launcher here, and the world is our oyster, I think. But thanks for watching. Again, if you liked the video, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Don't forget about part 1, and of course, part 2 will be linked in the video description below. See you soon.